Let me ask you a question. What if finding your true purpose wasn't about chasing that promotion at work? What if it wasn't about working endless hours? What if it was about stepping away from everything that's familiar to you and creating this space just so you can reconnect with yourself? That's exactly what happened to me after moving here to Dominican Republic. Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay. I'm an American expat currently living here in Dominican Republic. I quit my job in March 2021 and decided to take my talents over to the Caribbean. In today's video, I'm sharing how expat life opened the door to self-discovery, helped me realign with meaning, and how this move can possibly do the same for you. Let's get into it. In the US, I was doing all the things I was supposed to do. I was working the long hours. I was always chasing the next raise and always stressed about the rising cost of living. Now on paper, it all looked fine, but deep down inside, I felt empty. It was like I was living somebody else's script. I remember going to work one day and I was sitting in traffic because I was commuting from Fort Lauderdale down to Miami on 95. And anybody that knows that commute, traffic is crazy. But I was sitting there in traffic and thinking to myself, if this is success, then why do I feel so unhappy? Why don't I feel different? And that moment stayed with me. And once I got the opportunity to move here to Dominican Republic, man, I took it. Leaving that hamster wheel behind gave me something that I didn't even know I was starving for, and that was silence. The kind of silence that allows you to hear your own thoughts and ask these bigger questions like, who am I? What do I really want out of life? I remember the first week we were here in Dominican Republic and we went to Villa Maya. This is the area where my wife's family is from. And I remember sitting outside, having a drink, music playing, kids running around, my daughter included, and everyone was just present. Nobody was sitting there trying to rush and answer any emails. Nobody cared what kind of job you had, what your title was, what kind of car you drove. Everybody was just enjoying themselves and having a great time. And that night, I realized something. The people here in Dominican Republic value connections over possessions. Family, friendship, community, that's the real currency here in this country. And it's really hard not to absorb that mindset. I found myself not worrying about the material things anymore and more focused on building relationships and networking. And to be honest, that was the beginning of me redefining what purpose really meant for me at this stage of my life. I remember my first trip to the supermarket and I'm in line fumbling over pesos because I'm not really understanding how to count their money, and I end up giving the cashier way too much money. But instead of getting frustrated, I just laughed it off, and the cashier helped me figure it all out. And that moment showed me something, that I was more adaptable than I gave myself credit for. And little by little, I started uncovering these little strengths that I really didn't know I had, like patience, resilience, and eventually the courage to share my journey on this particular channel. And for me, that's purpose, using my story to help others step into their own. And I mentioned this before in one of my videos, how terrified I was to actually start this channel. Even though I had been appearing on my wife's channel for maybe about, maybe a year at that point, I was still terrified to actually start this channel because I didn't know how it would be received. I made my first video on this channel 7 months before I actually released it. I just sat on it. I sat on it and I sat on it. And one day I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna release it. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I move on. And to my surprise, people actually gravitated to the content. So in that case, why did I wait 7 months to do it? In the US, we're taught that purpose means achieving more. The bigger house, the nice car, the six-figure salary. But here I realized you don't need as much as you think you need just to live here. I remember when we first started packing up to move here, and I was trying to pack every little thing I had. And I said, why am I bringing all this with me? The more stuff I bring, the more distractions I have. So I decided to just let some things go, either sell it or just throw it away. And when you have less distractions, you can focus more on what really matters. And after we got here, I no longer wanted to fill my life up with just things. I was focused more on filling my life up with experiences, going to waterfalls and rivers, hanging out at the beach, those get-togethers with family. Those experiences there made me feel way richer than any paycheck could. And I'm gonna be real with you. This move wasn't just about a physical move. It was also a more spiritual move. I remember one day I woke up, this was around the first, week or so, maybe a month or so that we actually moved here. And I just headed out toward the Malecon and I started taking a walk. And as I was walking, I was thinking and I was watching the sun rise and I became overwhelmed with this sense of gratitude. It felt like the universe, like God was talking to me, reminding me, hey, you're where you want to be. Living here has helped me strengthen my connection to faith, to gratitude, and the idea that life isn't just about survival. It's about impact. It's about love. It's about alignment. But understand this, finding purpose doesn't mean you need to move abroad. Let's be clear about that. That was just my path. Dominican Republic gave me the space to grow and realign to what really matters. Guys, when you strip away the noise, you stop living on autopilot. You start designing a life that feels authentic, not just expected. And that's what expat life gave me. Not just a brand new home, but a brand new perspective. So if you're feeling stuck, and you may not be broken, you may just need a new environment to grow. And if this message resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know if you want to hear more stories on expat life, mindset, and creating a life that you no longer need a vacation from. And guys, before I go, I want to let you know I did create a weekly newsletter. It's called Live Your Best Life Newsletter. I dropped the link in the comment section below. If you're interested in money, self-development, and living life abroad, this is definitely a newsletter you want to sign up for. So guys, until then, remember, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're going to live your best life. And I'm out. Peace.
Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Something you and me, oh. Je begon aan mijn best life, yeah. Jumping, flexing,